There's no handbook to being a vlogger. Actually, there probably is now, to be honest. But I didn't have one when I started Raw in Japan. It was all forged on the foundations of trial and error. And today, what I want to share with you are 6 key areas that I see amateur vloggers often screw things up. So if you're starting out and you've not had much success or you're new to it all, hopefully some of these factors can explain why. So let's dive into the first point and the most common problem, in my opinion. Yesterday I went to the shop to buy this amazing thing. So I had my shower and I ran down to the shop. I think it was about 11 o'clock, maybe it was 12, not really sure. But I remember I was thinking, wow, this shop is so busy. You know, it's quite busy for 11 o'clock or was it 12 o'clock? It was really good though. It was rambling. I can't stand it. And in my opinion, it's by far the biggest mistake I see on new vloggers who clearly don't know what they're doing or talking about. They just put the camera on and let rip, and that's it. And I think it's the main reason I can't watch vloggers in general, to be honest. When somebody has clicked through onto your video, it's a miracle. You know, they didn't click on the funny cat video or the guy playing Fortnite or somebody talking about their favourite L'Oreal hair products. They clicked on you, and every single second of your video should be using every trick in the book to keep them there to the bitter end. Every moment of that video should be packed full of entertainment or educational content. And the way to do that, above all, is to be clear about what you want to do and say in your video. In the early days, I would script my videos heavily, almost word for word. I would read over my script a few times and then I'd just freestyle it with my laptop nearby. You can actually watch a lot of my older videos and see me sort of looking off screen subtly. But even on Journey Across Japan, where I travelled for 45 days filming every single day, I would kind of script or think over in advance what I wanted to say. I would type it up on my phone in like a little document app, and then I'd read over it and then I'd deliver the lines, just so I could keep it clear, concise and to the point. Every interaction I have on camera with someone, I'm not talking to them as I would normally when it's a long, laid back, winding conversation. I'm trying to get information out of them. I'm trying to have a humorous conversation that's to the point and about something. And once I've filmed a sequence and it comes to editing it, despite having scripted the video, I'll probably just cut out half of it anyway, just because I want it to be to the point. I don't want any rambling. Don't ramble and keep the camera rolling. Think about what you want to say first, deliver it, and then ruthlessly edit it down to the essentials to drive the story forward in your video. And speaking of story, hand in hand with the rambling offence, I find a lot of vloggers don't take their viewers on a journey, not a literal kind of journey, but a story within which you want to keep your viewers engaged until the bitter end. Every video I make has a clear beginning, middle and end. If it's a travel video, usually we're going in search of something. For example, when Ryota and I made our video, Eating Blowfish. It starts with us meeting up, grabbing a car, talking about what we're going to do and then making a day of it until eventually it ends with us eating blowfish. It's a pattern we do with most of our travel videos, same as when we went and ate Wagyu beef. Always save the best till last, so the audience has something to look forward to throughout the video and end on a high note. Even videos where I'm just in my apartment, I still try to have some sort of narrative. I did a hate mail reading video once that started with me coming home from work, then reading a hate comment angrily, and then reading them all, and then at the end walking off depressed towards a mountain in an overdramatic manner. So there was still some sort of narrative there, albeit a loose one. Another example would be a self-help educational video, such as this one, where you always open my outlining by what the viewer's going to learn by proceeding ahead into the video, then delivering the goods, then ending it with a quick look back over what you've done, and then ending in a kind of upbeat manner. There's still a loose narrative there to keep it together. All of this creates an overall sense of satisfaction. In the same way with fiction, there needs to be a story, it's the same for non-fiction as well. I see far too many vloggers where the video just opens, they jump into something without explanation, it's not clear what we're going to do or get out of the video, and you'll probably feel like clicking away after a few seconds or a minute or so. And if you're losing viewers early on, that's terrible. You know, you need people to stay and watch the videos. Audience retention is so important on YouTube. The algorithm promotes your video if people watch it all the way through, or hides your video into nothingness if people just start bailing right off the bat. If you don't script your video, definitely always do bullet points, and even for casual vlogs, it's something worth thinking about, what you're going to do in advance and what your narrative arc of the video is going to be about. Keep people engaged, have a narrative, have a story. There's nothing worse than a good video ruined by an awful soundtrack. I always hear that godforsaken one that comes with iMovie played everywhere, you know. I hate it. Everyone uses it. Don't use that goddamn song. Ever since my first year of doing YouTube, I've always bought royalty-free music to go with the videos. It can definitely be pricey, and in fact, it's one of my largest costs outside of buying equipment. But I regularly buy lots of music for each video, and only in the last few years has it got a bit cheaper, because these days there are some fantastic websites such as Epidemic Sound, where instead of paying $50 for one song, you can pay $15 a month and download as many songs as you want. So really, there is no excuse these days to not having good music. But I spend an absurd amount of time just finding the right songs, and I'd like to go in depth on this in another video, but many of my best videos are defined by the soundtrack. It's what injects kind of emotion into the visuals. I'll say something bold, I'll look like this, and then it will cut to a shot of a mountain or the sea, and there'll be an awesome soundtrack. So do videos justice by giving them the soundtracks, the high quality soundtracks that they deserve. As I've said before, the bar to vlogging is exceptionally low these days. I mean, I can do it right now on my phone, and yet if I were to make a video with my iPhone right now, I'd still make an effort to hold the camera steady and pan and move around gently. I think a lot of viewers are put off by new vloggers who venture outside their apartments to make a video. As often with amateur vloggers, they don't think about filming in a way that doesn't give the viewer a headache. You know, I used to use a Canon 70D up until 2017. And it was a great camera, but so damn shaky. I used to spend a ludicrous amounts of time stabilising the footage in post-production or setting up a tripod. And for the longest time, I never did the classic vlogger shot where you walk down the street holding a camera filming yourself. Usually I'd stand still somewhere and just say my lines and then go and film some B-roll. But then I got the Panasonic GH5 and a little GorillaPod tripod, but the camera's optically stabilised and buttery smooth so I can walk around and do it. But unless your camera is optically stabilised, I would avoid doing it, as it can be a bit of a headache to watch. Take pride in what you're filming. Put the effort into your camera work and your cinematography, as you can learn it all in a day. Honestly, the most basics you can learn in a day, and it'll make your videos infinitely more enjoyable to watch. Now, admittedly, bad, shaky video footage can be stabilised or colour graded or edited in post-production, but bad audio is impossible to fix. It's unforgivable. A friend of mine who's a vlogger, I won't name names, creates these really great, slickly produced videos above and beyond the quality of most usual vlogs. And then there's the voiceover. This person must be recording their voiceover on an iPhone from 4 years ago, because it all sounds crackly and awful. And it's a shame, because you've got this beautiful video, but it's compromised by the audio. 1 minute there's a majestic shot of a rice field, the next minute you have to take your headphones off as it's hurting your ears. Whether you're going to be making videos in your apartment or on the road, don't compromise. Get yourself a decent microphone, a shotgun microphone, which sounds kind of dangerous, but it's not. It's just a microphone that looks like this. We're using one right now, actually. But it costs just $200, and it gives you almost broadcast quality. And every single Abroad Japan video since 2015 has been shot on one. So if you watch a video from them, you'll be able to hear the difference in audio quality. There's nothing more I have to add here, although if you're looking for a good microphone for doing dedicated voiceovers and podcasts, grab the NH1A Rode condenser microphone. I've listed all the equipment I use in a separate TC Learn video, so check it out if you've missed it. Now, early on when you get started out, not only do you need to know who you're aiming your videos at, but potential viewers need to know what you're about as well. It needs to be clear what your brand is about. Today, there are an obscene amount of people on YouTube, and it's pretty hard to stand out unless it's clear what you're about or what your viewers can expect from watching you. People just won't subscribe. When I started making videos 6 or 7 years ago, I made every effort to make clear that the title was Abroad in Japan, what it was about. Obviously, it was going to be about somebody living in Japan, potentially a female, until people realised, to their disappointment, that the broad wasn't in reference to a presenter being a female. It was just a clever reference to my name. But over the years, though, I've no doubt that the success of the Abroad Japan channel is just down to the fact it's clear what you're getting from the title. Yes, it's definitely a bit limiting. God forbid the day I move to Paraguay and have to do a complete rebrand, but for now, it works. But numerous of the times I've met people who use obscure words in their title, or worse, J-vloggers who use Japanese words in their channel name. Not because I dislike Japanese words, but because they're limiting their foreign audience. You know, if I'd called my channel Boken Tekina Chris, then I've alienated lots of foreigners who don't know that Boken Tekina means adventurous. So be careful what words you choose and stick to using words in the language that you're going to be presenting your videos in. As for the demographic, I always had a clear audience in mind, namely people my own age who I can relate to, 18 to 35, probably male, hopefully female, and using a British kind of presentation style heavily rooted in sarcasm and cynicism. And I tried to be consistent with that style, and it's mostly worked, even if living in Japan has certainly robbed me of some of my sarcasm. But once you know who you're aiming your videos at, and it should be people that you can relate to in some way, then they will find you. And if you use a clear title, they'll know what to expect when they discover your channel, and hopefully they'll hit the subscribe button. So those are some tips on some common mistakes I see with amateur vloggers, both technical and in branding. Topics I look forward to expanding on in future videos. But if you're launching a channel, absolutely get it off to a good start. Once you've established your brand, if you've got the name wrong, or your content sucks because of bad audio and video, or you ramble too much about supermarkets, then you are absolutely screwed. People don't forget it. Once they've watched your video and not enjoyed it for some of the reasons I've listed above, odds are they won't be coming back, and the next time they see your channel listed on YouTube, they'll avoid it. And finally, YouTube won't promote your channel properly because the algorithm will detect nobody is watching your videos, and thus your channel is just stuffed. Honestly, at that point, your best bet is just to start all over again and create a new channel. So please heed my warnings, take pride in what you create, enjoy what you do, and get the branding right the first time. But for now, guys, as always, many thanks for watching, and I'll see you right back here to do it all over again next time. Have a good one.